Hi everybody, it's Patrick, not John Cena, here again with another plant review. I'll just get right to it. Still no intro calculated yet, but I'll figure it out. Today we have Sedum ternatum. It's a native sedum. Pretty much exists all over like the eastern U.S. into the prairie states, north to Canada. I think through like South Carolina. I don't know how endemic it is to northern Florida, but it goes down to zone 9. So pretty cool plant. It's a woodland sedum, which you don't often find. You usually think of sedum as growing in full sun, open, exposed areas. This guy does actually really well in part shade, so that's why it's really great in our hot climate. Maybe further north where it gets a little cooler in the summers, it could take a lot more sun, and definitely with sufficient moisture, it'll be okay in sunnier spots. But yeah, typically this is planted as a shade plant here in Central Virginia. It's a weirdo sedum. It has these kind of 3 or 4 branched strands of flowers. Strands is not the right word, whatever. It'll have these branching flowers that you can see right here, and they also bloom with 4 petals, not 5 petals, unlike a lot of other sedums. And it's called Sedum ternatum. As you can see, you might be able to see, I don't know. Its leaves appear in whorls of 3, so it has whorled foliage, not opposite foliage like a lot of other sedums or plants in the jade family, Crassulaceae. That's its family. Also, little hot piece of information for everybody that isn't super well known. A lot of succulents, and this terminology comes from the Crassulaceae family. A lot of succulents have this ability to kind of hold their breath during the day, and that's why they do so well with drought-like conditions. They basically don't transpire until it's cooler at night, when they can release some of that oxygen and bring in the CO2 again. It's called CAM. I think it's Crassulacean acid metabolism. Pretty cool little thing. So that's why a lot of jades and a lot of succulents are so drought tolerant. Little science fact for you. I can't explain how it works because I'm not a scientist. I'm a horticulturist. So anyway, yeah, really cool little plant. White flowers, shade tolerant. I think smaller animals might eat it, like chipmunks or rabbits or something like that. But deer usually don't go after it because it's so short. It creeps along the ground. Doesn't get too tall. I think the flowers are the tallest part of it. Usually about 6 inches tall when it's blooming, maybe a little taller, but typically 2 to 4 inches tall. Ground cover, semi-evergreen depending on the winter. Nice emerald green color, white flowers again. Yeah, I'm gonna start repping the growers a little bit. I got this one from Sneed's Nursery, $7.50, as you can see the price. A little insider information. And this was grown by Quality in Pennsylvania. Quality is one of my favorite perennial growers. I used to order from them a lot when I worked up in Maryland, and Sneed's was awesome and started buying from Quality when I worked there as well. And yeah, great grower. They grow so much stuff that's available well into the summer when a lot of other perennial growers are kind of out of their stock. So yeah, go Quality, go Sneed's. You can get cool plants like this from them. And yeah, so we'll have another plant review tomorrow. It's a cryptomeria, I think that's what I said, Cryptomeria Gyokuryu, which is probably my favorite cryptomeria. So yeah. Oh, also, I need to start actually rating these plants if I'm doing reviews. Sedum ternatum, I think in our wet soils, it's really got to be planted in the right spot, because it is a sedum. It's not going to tolerate overly wet soils, so it can tend to rot. Some people don't like it, especially if it's planted in a shadier area where it might stay wetter longer. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Does well in shade, but shade tends to be a little wetter than sunnier spot. So make sure it's planted in an area with good drainage. I would rate this a 7 out of 10. Yeah, maybe one day we'll get a cool cultivar with maybe better foliage color. That's a nice green, but it's not that nice. All right, well, thanks guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.